not hua. That's a different show. And this is here for the Portland Horror Film Festival in downtown Portland, Oregon, just in time to talk to two spectacular humans. I'm gonna make up words today. That is my job.
Sounds good.
I blame Friday the 13th for making up everything. Or my drumsticks, because I was playing drumsticks a little too long today, so I've got drummer brain, which means I can't think whatsoever. So we are talking today to Rose Trimboli or Trimboli.
Trimboli, like
Okay,
Stromboli,
got it. Because
but
some,
without the S.
and then how do I pronounce your name, my beautiful, lovely, long-haired lady?
I am Eloise Lola Gordon.
Okay, Lola is the part that it was like, but you look so different than you do in the film now.
I know. We filmed it like 2.5 years ago.
You were barely 13 then.
Yeah, I was barely even legal,
I know.
just fresh out the womb.
So I won't feel as bad about doing any spoilers because your film has screened. But I am notoriously not going to give away anything. I let the filmmakers do that on their own.
Oh, perfect. I'll spoil it. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay. So if the lighting gets weird on my glasses, I will rip them off. I do have many pairs though. So we have these, we have the Elton Johns. These are these.
Elton John.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. And then if I don't like you, then I will wear this, the headband. It's like I don't have to look at you or listen to you.
Get
Uh,
tired of our faces.
that's
I'm
right.
sure
You're
you're
ugly.
tired of mine at this point.
Oh
So,
my God. No, you were like stunning lady.
oh,
Yeah, bitch.
thank
So,
you.
oh my God, she's that cat. So as if you didn't know. All right. So, let's talk a little bit about the past of your lives. Let's get into the therapy session part of our interview.
Yes.
Break out your Kleenex, your coffee, your alcohol, whatever you use. Mushrooms. I guess this is. Oh, there you go. Oh, look at the rings. Nice. I
You.
got my multiple wedding ring. So
Oh, beautiful.
I've only been married 4 times in a row. So if only I didn't like cake. So, for those who haven't seen the movie yet, which I'm sure are maybe three or four of you, this lovely feature takes place as a lonely gal travels across the world, seeking her fame and fortune via the faces of other people. Sh- we greet our beauty, but we won't talk about that yet. Yeah. How do you read a script when you're sitting at a desk with two dogs sitting in your lap? The uh the first thing I want to ask you about, let's start with Miss Eloise. Uh, where did you get your acting chops, babe?
Oh my gosh. Well, as many of us do, I started in musical theater and then caught the bug and started training
Let me guess, The
and
Wiz, right?
oh yeah, Wizard my first musical ever. I played a Poppy in The Wizard of Oz
I
when I
was
was in
right.
kindergarten. So I was me and my little flower and I had these little like evil eyebrows that I made them put on me
We
because
all
I
know
was
what
like,
poppies are for. Opium.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once I started doing that just kind of for fun, and then I realized I really liked it, and then I started taking an acting class that taught me what a play was, and I didn't realize that you could have a play without singing and dancing,
And it's a
and
four-letter P word that you can say in public.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And yeah, I trained a bunch. Started working professionally in theater when I was in high school. And then I went to
Wow.
college in New York and did my training there
Now, where
because
are
I
you
was like,
originally from then?
I'm from Denver.
Wow, that's a whole
Yeah.
lot different than New York.
Very different than New York. But my dad's a Queens boy. So I've
I
always
thought you
had
were
it
going to
in
say your
me.
dad's a queen, and I got all excited for a second.
Yeah, he's a queen in his own way.
There
Don't
you
don't get me
go.
wrong, but he's Forest Hills born and raised.
Oh,
So
oh
he
yeah.
was like,
So
you're going to New York. I'm like, I'm going to New York.
now either we're going to teach you how to play tennis over there at the Forest Hills, or we're going to make you watch the Mets over there. Uh,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Yeah, so New York was a good win for you then. So dad was
Yeah.
happy, you were happy.
Dad was happy. Everyone was happy. I went there because I was like, I'm going to do theater. I'm going to do Shakespeare. Like that was where I was mainly focused is like the classical world.
Okay,
And
let's hear your accent.
oh my gosh, no, I'm too shy. But I realized very quickly that no one was really interested in me in the theater world, but the film world was very interested in me, and I started booking film work kind of right off the bat. And then by the time I graduated college, I had this extensive film resume and very little theater. So I was like, maybe it's time to move to LA and see what happens. And it's definitely working out the way it's supposed to. So
Cool. And again, you're only 15 now, so that's pretty fast.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know, crazy.
you were just jumping ahead of the
I
time.
know. I just got my driving permit.
In Colorado, no less. I mean, I'm having flashbacks to when I lived in New Mexico. So,
Oh yeah, beautiful
uh,
neighbors.
name, yes, yes, and we know what green chili tastes like, and we also know what pinon is. So, those in Denver know the best.
Yes.
Rose, my darling, when did you first make a film, as the Irish say?
My first film was when I was 5 years old. I filmed my dad and I forced him to dress and act like my mom.
So you had the queen for dad.
And he ended up scrubbing that VHS tape. And he will
Aw.
probably kill me for talking about this on a podcast, but it was the first movie I made. And in that moment, I realized this is for me. I love bossing people around.
And I
I
love it when
love
men try to erase my work.
I love when I just love when people listen to me. So, but my real actual first short was in college. I did a mockumentary about a school nurse who was really bad at her job. And I kind of took my experience with my lovely school nurse in high school,
Hmm.
who always forgot I was allergic to peanuts.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, yeah, that was my first film and it went over very well. And I
So
thought to
you nearly
myself,
died for your first project. That's pretty
yeah,
good. Did you guys know each other in school, or how'd you guys hook up?
Kind of, in a way.
yes, I
Because you seem to
found,
have some history.
yes,
Definitely, definitely.
so much history.
Really? There was this film shoot in the valley. Okay. There was a pizza guy. No.
I wish, though. For my senior thesis, I actually found Eloise on Backstage, which is
We
everyone
know
knows what
about
Backstage
Backstage.
is.
Yes,
Sure, yeah.
yes.
Perfect.
Casting papers, the what
Hmm.
was the other one that they always use? I can't remember all the names, but there's like
Yeah,
5 or 6 really good casting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I met Eloise on Backstage. I saw her videos and her pictures, and I was like, she seems really cool. I'm going to ask her to try out for my thesis. And she tried out for my thesis. And immediately I was like, okay, I don't need to see anybody else. Everyone
Right?
else go home.
Yeah.
And we immediately hit it off. And it didn't feel like I was working with someone. It felt like I was just hanging out with a friend. So,
That's awesome. That makes it so much easier when you do have to boss their asses around.
Yeah.
It's like, she's going to take it the right way.
Yeah. And I'm more inclined to listen because I very, very rarely do I want to listen to anyone but myself. But
There
I'll
you
listen to
go.
her.
Yeah,
So
because you trust. And look at your
exactly.
nails. Who's going to argue with you? I was looking at them in the movie
Yes.
going, dang, girl, she's going to stab somebody one of these. Is that part of the costume or is that you? No, that's her.
Yeah, that's me. Oh my gosh. No, my baby cousin, yesterday he was playing with my nails in the car and he goes, why do you have fake nails? And I was like, they're not fake, they're my nails, they're just long. And then he just yelled, fake. I was like, oh, sorry. I was like,
Another
no.
guy trying to keep you down.
Exactly. I'm like, these 4-year-olds, man.
Oh, they're the worst. They're right up there with the 24, the 44, and the 64-year-olds.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Too funny. So, how many other projects have you worked on before you hit this one?
In terms of films, this would be our second because we
yeah.
had your senior thesis and this, but we've done, I mean, so many photo shoots, kind of like countless photo shoots, a couple music videos.
Oh,
That's
yes.
cool.
One of those things that it's like if one of us needs help with something, they just kind of we call the other, you know.
So
No
you do
questions
stuff
asked.
behind the camera as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. I write and direct and help produce. I do a lot of like creative direction. Sometimes I work as a makeup artist.
Don't look in my face.
I mean, we look beautiful.
No. This is you guys have so much fun together. It's hard not to feel the infection of like giggles.
Good.
That's why we work well together.
That's seriously, it's like this is a match. This is Penn and Teller. This is Shields and Yanel. This is way too over. No, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that video that's that woman talking and she's like, "Yeah, he's my right hand arm man. You're my right hand arm woman."
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm just picturing Sharon Osbourne singing. Okay. This is great. So tell me about the making of this thing. What was it like to first organically feel like this is the script? What are we gonna do with it?
I think I like had like a final draft of the
Because
script.
you wrote this.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
wrote it in a days. Because it was my goal to write a script in COVID because I had nothing else to do.
Mhm.
So my roommates at the time, I actually
Yeah,
had
there's
them.
always the pre-COVID roommates and the post-COVID roommates.
That part.
Yeah, my roommates at the time actually, I had them lock me in my room to force me to finish this. And one of them actually stood outside with a water gun, and when I would try and leave, he would shoot me with it.
Bad kitty.
So
Literally.
I was forced to finish this in a good way. I also wanted to finish it.
Cool.
But yeah, once we got the script, I sent it to a few of my friends who were interested in producing, and they said this is super doable. Uh, so we just gathered up a bunch of friends. I think all of my close friends were a part of this. Like,
Yeah.
obviously Eloise, and then
Welcome to the small film world where if you don't know somebody, you don't do anything.
Very much so. Very
Yeah.
much so. There's a lot of the same crew as her senior thesis, and then other people, like other Drexel kids.
yeah, and
Yeah.
a few people that you knew.
Yeah,
from-
I did actually. I kind of led the charge in the casting
yeah.
because I think we realized from her senior thesis, without naming names, that not all actors are easy to work with.
No, do tell.
So yeah, you know, there can be
That's
lots of personalities, big
No
personalities.
ego?
No, yeah, sometimes, just a little bit. But I think one thing about like being in New York, because we filmed this in Jersey, so even though we were both living in LA at the time, I was like, I have so many incredibly talented, wonderful, lovely people in New York that I can hit up. So I was like, let me
Tap into that.
yeah, like let me reach out to people. So I made sure that every single person that even auditioned, let alone who got the actual parts, were not only incredibly talented, but lovely people to work with, lovely friends. Like everyone is a friend of mine, which also made casting for me a little hard because I was like not only giving a role to a friend, but then not giving a role to other friends.
Oh.
You know, so that was also
when you have to
learning.
tell somebody that you really like to work with or you really love, it's a human being. It's like, I love you, love you, but your mustache, sweetie.
Yeah, and it's like I mean, the casting it's so interesting as an actor to be on the other side because you can realize how arbitrary some of these decisions are. I mean,
it's so easy not to take it personally that way.
Yeah, I mean, we had to cast a couple, and a lot of what determined who was the couple is who was going to look the best next to each other and who energetically matched. And we basically had like 3 pairs of options, and then between those 3 pairs, we were like, well, which couple would suit the film best, like thematically. And so we went with our friends Mav and Paolo, who are both very kind of like Tim Burton-esque looking type of people. Yeah, exactly. Like darker hair and like a little more of an edge to them. Yeah, exactly. They're both a little more, kind of in that realm as opposed to like more like some of the other actors were a little more like traditional, I would say. So, I mean, even though everyone was equally talented and the movie could have worked any way that we casted it.
If somebody got sick, you had a backup.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked out that way.
It's so
And
hell when you have, oh God, that's the
yeah,
worst feeling in the world. And people, I often tell people, I don't always, because that would be a very boring conversation if I always said one thing. But I often say, like when you audition, you're not auditioning because somebody doesn't like you. You're auditioning because somebody does like you. So,
yeah,
shake it off and you just do the performance. That it's your
yeah,
show. Yeah.
exactly. And if it works for the vision, it works for the vision, and it doesn't, it wasn't meant for you in the first place.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's a hard lesson to learn, but I think any actor should try and get on the casting side of things, whether it's working at a casting office or
Mhm.
casting their own short film or a friend's short film, because you do learn so much about not taking things personally.
Right.
Yeah.
And Rose, you are just so shy. You you just hold back your opinions on everything, I can tell. No, no. Um, the casting in this film, I think you guys hit home runs all over the place. I also thought when I first saw the film, because I saw it twice now, was the first time I saw it,
Twice.
yeah, the first time I saw it, I thought these people have done 15, 20 films. This kid must have been a child actress on Disney or something. And, because there's just so much going on. With just there's one shot. Again, I'm not giving away anything. I'm just pointing out a shot. There's one shot when my lovely young friend, is sitting down and just looking, and there's a pout on your face, no makeup on, but the pout changes to like anger and sadness and like fuck you all in 1 second, and you could feel like every single second of it. And
Thank
it,
you.
and then the photography is right there going, okay, I'm not going to pull away yet because this is still happening.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah, we
really bugs me when directors cut right when the actor's getting to that meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely a lot of for you, I would say it was a lot of like more physical acting as
Hmm.
opposed to vocal
Yeah.
dialogue.
Totally.
And I think you killed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Killed often.
But
Yeah. Like,
but that's also why I really like the acting in this movie, and I think the casting with the other actors being a lot of them are primarily like comedy actors, so they
yeah.
had like a lot of good banter to like make up for the fact that our main character doesn't really
Talk a
talk
lot.
that
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
barista with it was the other girl her little sister. I couldn't quite figure out at first what their relationship is. Is the other girl her
Between
little
the two
sister?
baristas,
Yeah.
they're
Or just the girl
roommates.
roommates. Okay. That I
Yeah.
couldn't
Best
quite,
friends,
but it was
roommates.
just
They were
really weird because
roommates.
at first I thought she's in school. No, she's not in school. What is okay, okay, it
Yeah.
took me a minute to figure that out.
No,
Um,
but I think that was intentional,
Yeah.
like, because we wanted that group of friends to feel like a family.
yeah.
So that's, I mean, they're not technically related, but that's the idea that we wanted to
And you're
get
not going to kick
across.
somebody out just because she has a thumb up her ass the whole time. You're not going to kick
Yeah.
somebody out because they're like always excited. The artwork, fucking phenomenal. I,
Shout out to Josie Woods,
I
which also serendipitously the character is
Mhm.
Josie and
yeah,
the artist is also Josie.
And Faith's fake last name is
And Faith,
Woods.
yeah,
yeah,
Faith's last
yeah.
name is
When I
Woods,
was out,
and
and I love that her name is Faith. The choices that were made were just so, they were just so good. I honestly had no idea it was like the second film or third film you guys did, or you
but
did.
yeah,
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 this was
first feature,
first
Yeah.
feature, first, I would say like first very bigger production, at least for
totally,
me.
totally.
Now, who
Because
gave you the idea of setting up in a, like I grew up in Boston. My dad, however, lives on Cape Cod, which is the land of the summer people. And
Oh yeah,
in the wintertime, everybody disappears and all the hotels are empty. And it just reminded me of the summer people being gone on Cape Cod. And there's big empty hotels, and what do you do with them? You throw
yeah.
in, your natural freak of nature. So and all the little toys that were in the background of that room, just really good choices because you never actually see her collecting them specifically, but she's collecting them for a reason.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, there were so many great choices. I
I
know
made
I'm a
sure,
fangirl.
thank you. I made sure to put in like little, because I personally love when like writers and directors in their movies put like little things for like a rewatch value. Like there's
Yeah.
things that you won't notice the first time around. Like she collects little tchotchkes, and that makes sense as to why she's automatically drawn to the little owl and why Josie would give her the little owl.
Mhm.
She adds it to her collection.
Yeah.
And
Or
you
how she
know,
ended up with the bracelet.
yeah, like the bracelet, like little things. I like to leave little breadcrumbs so people
Yeah.
can pick up on it. And a lot of people do, which I'm very like, yes, active watcher.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah, because I think there's something like this was written. I mean, if I speak for you, sorry, but it was written for an intelligent audience.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I think so much of film nowadays is spoon fed to us because
How
people just
many
want like the
years?
entertainment value, and
Yeah.
I'm like, we're all really like observant people, and like you pick up on all these little details just naturally. So like you don't have to over explain everything, and I think that's where this movie also has a lot of strength. It's like not everything is explained,
Yeah.
but if you watch it you get
At
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah,
difference between Hitchcock and James Gunn. I mean,
totally.
Hitchcock
Mhm.
is just sitting there
1,000%.
decorating your mind, and James Gunn sitting there blasting your brain. And that's the whole difference.
Yeah. And
Totally.
I think the audience like appreciates the fact that the the fact that like, I wrote this for them to like think, and I'm not spoon feeding them by like being like, look, remember this. I'm going to show
Yes,
you a flashback
you've
from a
missed this
Yeah,
scene that
too.
happened
yeah,
4 minutes ago.
totally. And I think like even opinions, like I think a lot of films are written where it's like you're supposed to feel this way and you're supposed to think this way, and I think all of the characters have a lot of nuance in the story. Like no one is truly good or evil,
Right.
but they like everyone does like makes good decisions and bad decisions. Even Josie, like when we were in the Q&A, people were asking about like, well, why does she, after all of this that she's seen that Faith has done, like why does she, sorry, spoiler alert, ask her to turn her?
Mhm.
And we kind of see Josie as this like really fun loving positive character, but like for her to ask of something like that is not only a big deal, but it kind of shows it's like, oh, so you're willing for like this relationship that you want,
Because
you're willing
it's
to
Juliet
kill
and
people,
Juliet.
you
We're
know?
watching
Yeah.
Juliet and
Yeah,
Juliet. I mean, this is the Juliet and Juliet story. There's it's a love story all the way around between
yeah,
the roommates, between the hotel clerk, between I mean, everybody's in love with something in some way,
yeah, absolutely.
and the five-way love affair. Six.
No, totally. We were literally just talking about that like a second right before we got on the call with you about how like yes, it is a horror film, but it is also a love story, and it's very much about the relationships between these people, and that's what makes things scary is the fact that like what Faith wants is community and relationships, but
Yeah.
she's so terrified of it. Like that's her horror is
Yeah.
like the
Well, the
reality of
fact that
being close to
she
people.
spends all this time alone, and I mean, just her name, you make it almost feels like, okay, this is my fake name I'm throwing out there. And she's just dropping it more casually, and going, you know what, screw it.
Yeah.
This is my name.
But even that, like we never say it's a fake name, but you
Yeah,
know it's a fake name.
sure. What's my name? There's woods outside. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And just like I said, I just could not believe this was a newbie film. Not even close. I would have thought that somebody who was in their, mid 40s had done it, and for all the right reasons, not because, the world experience. You don't expect somebody with your youth, your youngness, your joie de vivre, to be so world experienced. But this is a different world than it was when I was in my 20s. So back in the Stone Ages of the Flintstones, quite literally. Um, what do you find is maybe a roadblock or maybe a speed bump to making movies for women themselves, as far as acting and or directing?
Good question. I mean, I will say I don't want to speak for you, but as an actor, of things that I noticed, because obviously, I mean, feel like as an actor, I a lot of the roles I get are like hyper feminine, and so you're used to having like people telling you how to be feminine. But the thing I noticed, there are very very few men on set,
Mhm.
and again, without naming names, it was very interesting to see who was listening to her and who wasn't.
And seeing that you had a crew that was a lot of women, which was,
Almost in I think
yeah,
there were 3 men in the entire crew.
that's one of my big pet
Yeah.
peeves. I will go to movie, I guess my husband will sit there and listen to me and just go, I will be a movie theater just going, another fucking guy, another fucking guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It is very rare to have been on a set with that many women in every department. Like our sound guy was we had a sound guy. We had art department was Dante was a guy,
Yeah.
and then Tom.
Oh yeah, Tom the G&E grip.
Yeah, he was a grip.
cool.
So it was, and honestly, the environment of that set, it was great to
Yeah.
like have a bunch of, females around, and I felt heard, I felt seen, and when people gave me ideas, it wasn't like anyone talking down to me, being like, you should be doing it this way. I guess for me as a writer director, the biggest thing I think for female filmmakers is definitely the imposter syndrome that you feel, because
Mm.
even though I know I did this thing, I still sometimes feel like, oh, I don't think I did it right because I didn't use this camera, or like,
Tina Fey gets it, Beyonce gets it, Oprah got it. It is so bizarre that you don't hear men going, I think I'm going through imposter syndrome as often as you hear women going like, did I do it good enough for, and then insert blank name or blank thought.
Yeah.
And it's so goofy because, screw that shit. Whatever came out is how you did it.
Yeah.
and if it came out good, it shouldn't matter how I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other things that I really was impressed with is the fact that a smaller film, had an intimacy coordinator, which is barely on the horizon as far as I'm concerned. They should have been in films back in the 1910s, but
Oh my God. Yeah.
But
so many
that
people
was,
we would never have a Harvey Weinstein if there was
yeah,
intimacy coordinators back in the
Never. Yeah.
but that was very important to me to have, because there are obviously some sex scenes and there's some more intense than others. And I thought it would be nice to have like a go between, just so like the actors didn't, feel pressure to do something they weren't comfortable with. And
yeah.
especially with the scene between Josie and Mac,
Uh-huh.
the intimacy coordinator was right there with me. Like, we had like a whole session beforehand with actors and her, and then a session afterwards. We only had like certain crew members on there, like when you get the
Huge
more intimate
difference.
scenes. Yep. And I feel like it really helped the actors feel comfortable to like,
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, as an actor, like intimacy choreography is the same thing as stage combat.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
dance,
people
and
think,
it
oh yeah, you're up there
is.
getting all sexy with X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, no, dude,
Yeah,
it's about as sexy as picking your nose in front of the Pope. It just doesn't happen.
exactly.
yeah,
And especially on like when you're on set and you're thinking about angles and lighting and stuff,
Yeah.
it's not, you can't just like, oh, go for it. And it's like, these are people that I'm like, you're not my partner. Like, I don't want to go for it with you, but like
Yeah.
having someone there as that kind of extra barrier and like buffer, it helps the performance, I mean, immensely.
And
It's
I've been
night and
on sets
day.
when they've had the cloth,
Yeah.
physical cloth between people, and I've had the sets where they've had, actual, the granny panties used on men.
Yes, yes, and like medicine balls, and I mean,
Yes.
I've been very lucky in my career that I've worked with so many intimacy coordinators and seen all the
Because
tips
he's
and tricks
sexy.
of the
See.
trade. Yes, I do. I do a lot of, especially at this point, I do a lot of like romances,
Mhm.
like soap opera kind of things, and those things get, pretty steamy, and they would not be able to look as good as they look if there is not someone taking care of everyone, because
Right.
that's like when
Dress shows.
you're talking,
Hair
exactly, you're
shows.
talking about subtlety, and like those are the things that show like uncomfortability is obvious, like
Mhm.
very.
I don't remember what movie it was recently, but one of the actors, male actors, said that he was horrified over the fact that he had to do something to a woman. He was just horrified about it. I know it was one of the, the name people, but the woman, I don't remember if it was Scarlett Johansson or whomever, but she had said that, if the intimacy coordinator wasn't there, she probably would have felt worse, but they had somebody there and she was like, this is my job. This is what I'm doing. This is the
Yeah.
separation between me and the job.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think the nice thing about intimacy coordinators is like at any point in the prep process, filming process, post process, you are able to put your foot down and say no. And
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people get nervous of like setting their boundaries is like, oh, but this is my job, and like I did read the script
What if
and
somebody gets
I
mad at
saw that this
me?
scene was there and I agreed to do it, so like I guess now I have to do it, even though like in the day you might completely change your opinion,
Yeah.
you know. And so having an intimacy coordinator is like you're allowed to do that, you
Yeah.
know, at a moment's notice.
And in your case, I'm guess body doubles weren't an issue. So you didn't have to have that. People like me, I'm a flotation device, so I get put out there to, hold other children from drowning in a pond where you would be out there going like everybody wants to watch you on the beach. So, when I'm out on the beach, they're going, there's a dead animal. What where do you want to be next year at this time of year? Do you want to be back doing another film, or you're already on a project, or what is it you're going to try to get to next year?
Next year, I would love to be working on another film, whether it be a short or a feature, which I am writing my second one,
Good.
um, which, I'm really excited about. Um, love the idea that I have. Can't share it, so I'm going to stop
Yeah,
talking
la
about
la
it.
la 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 la.
but
Don't spoilers.
but I definitely would like to be back in the directing chair again because it was just so much fun to be working with friends and working with a team that trusted me even when I didn't trust myself. And yeah, I've just been
Gotta
writing a lot.
shake that imposter syndrome away when you got people that believe in you.
Yeah,
Did you also act, Rose, or in your history?
I have tried acting. I realized I did not like it. I don't think I like being told what to do.
Yeah. See, that's a
And
hard thing.
it's also acting is very hard. I think it takes like a certain level of skill that I just haven't honed yet. But
And
directing
there's
is also
psychology
acting.
involved. There's
Yeah.
there's so much more than just like, saying lines.
Yeah.
You
I've,
know, looking at
I've
somebody like this and then looking at somebody like this, and it's the same scene. It's two different, images.
Very.
Astonishing. I always get a profound inspiration from a director that can let an actor make the choices because the director knows what those choices are going to be because there's that much trust.
Yeah.
That and how many there's one scene. I'm trying not to talk about the movie while talking about the movie, which is really hard. Um yeah, there's one scene where there's a group of them together in one of the rooms and they're drinking it. I'll just say that at first when you see Faith drinking her drink, you think it's a Coca-Cola or something. You don't really register what it is. And I think that's intentional, I'm guessing.
yes.
Yeah, and then at one point they're all hanging out together, having a night as you do. And she races to the kitchen to give up, her elixir du jour. Um, when you have to do something where it's that you don't get to lie about what's going on. What type of life experiences were you thinking about back when you were doing that scene?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that scene particularly, I feel like I think a lot of what I was playing with in those moments was the physical feeling of being ill.
Hmm.
Because it's like she's trying so hard to fit in. It's almost like the peer pressure, like when everyone starts drinking when they're in high school and stuff. It's like
When
she's
it-
like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this, even though I know this is probably like a really bad idea. And like, it's like whenever she ingests anything that isn't the blood, it's like this feeling in her stomach. It just feels like it's like ripping itself apart, and she's like needing to get out of the situation but still wanting to be in it. And I think that's why she even has that little moment of snapping at Jillian, is
Mhm.
because she's like, it's that, it's like you're trying so hard to remain composed, but you're in pain, and it's hard when someone is, questioning you and poking and prodding you, and all you really want is to be left alone. But at the same time, like, you're in this person's kitchen,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
to be fair, lots of us wanted to snap at Jillian.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it's good to have a character that's like, that you've got somebody in your family or somebody in your circle of friends that's like always doing the needling and all
Yes.
in
The
that one.
contrarian.
Oh man. And you just want to just say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She
And
does such a great job at that
oh
too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I knew she was great because I really wanted to punch her in the face at some points.
Hmm.
And it's like I don't feel that way about anybody except
Yeah.
Trump. But
Yeah.
She was actually the my editor's favorite character
Yeah.
because like once we finished the movie, my editor Emily uh, was saying that Jillian was the smartest person in the entire movie because she knew what was going on the entire time and
Yeah, she's
warned
like, I'm not going to
everybody.
believe that shit. I mean, I'm going to buy into that shit. And
Yeah.
she's not pregnant. Something else is happening. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's also why, like, usually a character like that when they die, you're like, oh, thank God. But I feel like because she was intelligent and she actually all of this anger was coming out of love and protection, that's why you really feel it when she's the one that, kind of gets it in the end, because you were like, God damn, like she was
She
right.
feuded.
And maybe she didn't deliver the information as well as she could have, but like she was doing this because like she loves her
Yeah, the
friend.
red flags were flying. She's like, hello, here it is.
Yeah.
Clue,
Yeah.
clue. Oh, right, my nose. Can do it again.
Sorry, sorry. The camera
Oh, oh
the
no.
camera got like dark
Oh,
for
we're
a
sideways
second.
again. Okay,
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay,
oh, we're
okay,
back.
okay.
Okay, I
I
was
was
gonna
like,
I just wanted to make
have
sure
my
it wasn't like turning
resistance shirt
off.
on today, make not any sense.
Oh, nice.
So, because we are living in the land of cray cray. Um, and as we're talking today is for those who are unaware, today is screw the king day. So
Yes, absolutely.
oh, fuck that guy. So
Yeah.
with his own little mushroom. So but on that happy note, the other note I wanted to point out is that uh, I'm not going to say when it happens, but there's a scene where the two gals are in the car, Josie and Faith are in a car, and they're just looking out.
Yeah.
It's like they're in two entirely different scenes, yet woven together, and it's very Thelma and Louise, but it's very like what hair there. It's like they're both coming to these huge realizations, and as we all do, we only can deal with our own experiences, and you can see each of them dealing with their own experiences, yet they've decided to combine.
Yeah.
And that to me was one of the most powerful shots in the film.
it is also one of my favorites. That scene, without giving away spoilers,
Yeah.
that scene was probably one of my favorites to film, one of my favorites
Mm-hmm.
to like watch because I see all the emotion in your eyes. I see the
Mm-hmm.
emotion in Jenna's eyes, who played Josie.
Mhm.
And I have a soft spot in my heart for that.
Yeah.
Especially because when we were, showing it to test audiences, people would tell me they're like, we don't know how to take this scene. Like, is it supposed to be funny or is it supposed to be serious?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's whatever you feel that, like, it's what you get out of it. Because
Yeah.
there's two different people having, like you said, two different experiences.
Right.
And we're watching that experience.
Yeah.
And we have our own, like, experience along with them.
Yeah.
And you
Like,
feel like you're in the car in the back seat, just going, okay, I
Totally.
am the third member of this club.
Yeah. And I think to me, it's a perfect, like, it's almost one of those things that it's like if you took that piece out and kind of almost had it as like a trailer, you would know what the entire movie is about, because that it really is their relationship. It's like they're having these two completely different experiences with each other, especially because, like, I mean, for the majority of the movie, Josie has no idea what's actually going on. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like
there's
Faith
passion
is, yeah,
constant.
there's
Yeah.
passion. It's like they're still drawn to each other, even though they're on completely different pages and
Mhm.
like living these very, like Josie is in a rom com and
Mhm.
Faith is in a horror. Like they're living
Yeah.
in different genres, but they're in the same car.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah.
families at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah. I'm in awe of the work that you guys are doing together. I hope you guys keep working together because I can't.
Of course.
I know that, Eloise, you are gonna just freaking nail the. I don't know what award you're gonna get in life, but goddamn, girl. And uh, there is a 5 or 6 standout actors, I gotta say, and you were definitely one of them for this whole experience of the festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think that has everything to do with you knowing how to deal with the great writing you were given. So, how's that? I sucked up to both of you.
Yeah.
Thanks. My ego is sufficient.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me. So let's say that you want to leave a message for the Portland audiences. What would you like to tell them?
I say watch our film, come meet us, come talk to us. We're gonna be at all the screenings and all the after parties, and we'd love to just like meet more filmmakers.
I was going to say something more cheesy. Like, thank you so much for being so welcoming and for,
That too, that too.
accepting our film and just being so open and loving it and,
Yeah.
being, I'm going to say receptive again
Yeah,
because
that's
my
all
brain
right.
is running out of synonyms.
Are there any films that you guys liked especially?
I really liked Video Barn.
Yeah, Video Barn is great. We haven't gotten a chance to see a ton of them yet, but so we have a lot more on the docket. But yeah, Video Barn was great.
It was
I can't remember the name of the one that was after that with the grandpa.
That one was really good.
But that one was really good as well. We're just really excited to see
Is this
the
your
rest of
first
the
festival?
films.
No.
This is our first festival for this
For
feature.
this, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Not
cool.
for my senior thesis, we had like the festival circuit, but it was
Yeah,
happening during COVID, so it was all like virtual. So this is
Yeah.
all in person.
Yeah.
And
It's a whole different. This technically is your first one then.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, we technically showed in Jersey, and like in
At
a
a small
couple,
festival.
couple things over there.
And
But
thinking the theater is way different.
it's I mean, we weren't able to be there. Only like our producers are able to be there. So this is the first time for us specifically that we're actually getting to
Were
see
you sitting in the
everything.
back of the theater, or were you sitting
Right?
Kind of in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
And
wanted to
up
get
here-
stereo sound and that what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yes.
Points I would also like to thank Portland
Portland.
for being a great audience because the reactions everyone was giving was perfect.
Yes.
And like certain moments when Josie finds the friendship bracelet, I saw someone go, and it was like, yes.
My first response was,
Yes. No, but it was fun hearing everyone laugh because like there are obviously so many moments that like we think are funny and that we know like when we were filming it we're like this is funny. Like because I think horror and comedy are very closely linked and like you can't really make people scared if you can't also make them laugh.
Yeah,
So
and you pee your pants in either case.
Exactly. It's all the same emotions happening. So the fact that we were able to like hear the audience like giggling and then like the moments that everyone was like haha and then the moments that people were like ha 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 like that was really cool.
I was like that uncomfortable.
Yeah, like
we got a few of those. We got a few of those in the grosser moment.
Yeah, exactly. If you like
and the effects were pretty, I mean, they were great. They were like Tom Savini worthy. They were really good.
We had 2 great SFX people that helped us out on this.
Yeah.
Very, very talented.
Yeah.
And a lot of great
seamlessly work. Beautiful as far as skin matching and things. Just
and
yeah,
the one of the SFX artists we actually worked with was trained by Tom Savini.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
I was aware. No, that's too cool.
You knew the brushwork. But that's also another thing I like about horror is just the emotional overwhelmingness of it. It's not necessarily just scary, but it's also like my goal at the end of the movie was for people to kind of have a panic attack, to like feel what Faith was feeling with all the, flashing cuts.
It's all hitting me at the same time. What am I going to do? Yeah. Which we're not telling anybody about.
So I think just with horror, you can play with a lot of different emotions, be it like happiness, sadness, overwhelm, frustration,
My therapist would be very happy that you know what these are, because I often wonder.
Don't worry, my therapist thought this movie was great, a great
Yay!
exercise for me.
That's awesome. Well, ladies, I adore you. I know there's going to be like monster films coming out of you, monster films coming out of both of you. Maybe you guys will be writing something together. Who knows? But
Yeah, but we have the short that I kind of adapted and we directed together is now just starting to be in festivals. So we're going to be starting all the
the
pushing and promo for that soon.
And if
As
you think she's good in this, oh my God,
oh, cool.
killed it.
Well, you
In this
got my
short.
email address. You know where to send
Yes.
stuff. You
yes,
test me out.
we'll
I'll be a
send it
happy
to you.
fan.
We'll send it to you.
Cool. I'm a happy alpha beta tester. So
Yeah.
you guys are awesome. Totally fun. So what's next on the festival circuit? Do you go to another festival now, or are you guys just like camping out and just enjoying the accolades?
We are enjoying the accolades. We're hearing we submitted to a good number. We're still waiting to hear back from I think like 20.
Hmm.
I went a little festival happy.
Good.
But
Good.
we're still waiting to hear back from a lot. But
That's actually sometimes a better sign because that means they're having a hard time deciding between you and somebody else.
Yeah.
but honestly, Portland has been this is a great festival. Everyone's
Yeah.
been super nice, super sweet.
Callahan's rocket, man. They totally do.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. No, it's just great vibes all around. Sorry to be Gen Z and be like,
No,
There's
totally,
somebody
totally.
playing with the screen behind you. It's cracking me up. It's like someone's like, we can't show anybody anything.
Oh yeah. The windows are like, oh god, they're being too loud. We need to
No.
shut them up.
We're like, they're acting.
hey, directors are the biggest actors.
They're everywhere. I just can't wait to see your next thing because I know I'm going to go back and show this to the husband now because I didn't show it to him. So it's like
Third time, third watch,
Yeah,
third
yeah,
watch.
yeah.
yes. You know, if I've seen it more than once, that it's damn good. And there's like 5 or 6 that I've definitely seen 2 or 3 times. So in fact, there's one that I've seen 3 times so far. So yeah.
Ooh.
So I won't tell you
Yeah.
what it is till tomorrow because it doesn't premiere till tomorrow. So
Oh,
there you
Oh,
go.
I'm excited.
yeah, I'm excited too.
I'm excited to also meet everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a nice feeling? Like when you run into somebody, it's like, oh, you got the same kind of energy I've got, and we're not big-headed bastards and shit. We're actually working on the same type of thing. And
Yeah.
that's a good
That's why I
feeling.
also think independent film is very important.
Yeah.
I don't think that the world would survive without indie films because honestly, it's same with indie bands. I mean, indie
Yeah.
art and in general, anything that's corporate owned, you know, it's so homogenized and cleaned up and dissected and thrown into somebody's mother's lap. So she
Yes.
likes it. No, you're not going to get the honesty and the reality and the truth.
1000%.
Yeah. And I mean, I went to art school as undergrad. I went to grad school in art school. I went to music school. I got 3 graduate degrees on just making things. So, and I sit there and I watch other people like complain that they're not being creative enough. It's like, what? There's a piece of paper in front of you. Do something with it.
Yeah.
You know? Ugh. All right, independent art rocks. It's for and NPR rocks too. Anyway,
True.
thank you, ladies, for talking to me today.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
having
you.
us.
Thanks for being had.
Yeah.
I hope the coffee houses are great to you. Please hit the food trucks. I keep telling people that hit the
Oh
food
yes.
because the food trucks are
Yes.
probably our best restaurants.
Oh yeah.
And the immigrants who put together the food in those food trucks are what makes Oregon and Washington so awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck the Trumps. Um, that's what I'm going to leave it on. I hope you guys aren't Republican because I just
Oh
insulted
no.
No.
I agree. We second and third.
There we
Yep.
go. All in favor, say. That's our clip that I'm going to put on the air.
Perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Antisocial Horror-ish show. This has been your antisocial for the Portland Horror Film Festival with our Rose Trimboli. And Eloise, I'm going to forget your last name.
It's okay. Gordon.
I almost said Lloyd. That's not right.
No, no.
Eloise
Like, that's not
Lola.
right. So silly. Okay. And thank you all for being here. And hold on, ladies.